Height matters on dating apps. We all know this to an extent, but how much does it actually matter? Well, I conducted an experiment on Hinge. I changed my height to determine just how important height is when it comes to dating apps. And the results were absolutely shocking. And it's so much worse than you think. Okay, so I'll start off by saying I am a tall guy. I am 6'4". Very lucky to be 6'4". But I care about this stuff. I care about my short kings. And I wondered what it would be like if I wasn't 6'4". So currently I get about 3 to 5 likes per day on Hinge in a non-New York City market, which I think is pretty good. Could definitely be better, but that's the baseline. So what I did is I changed my height from 6'4" to 5'9", just to see, right? I figured, there would be a difference, but I didn't think it would be as drastic as it turned out to be. I left my height on 5'9" for 2 weeks to see what happened. I didn't get a single fucking like, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. So I went from getting roughly 42 to 70 likes over the course of a 2-week period to getting absolutely zero just from going from 6'4" to 5'9". And 5'9" is above average height. Like it's so ridiculous. Everything else stayed the exact same on my profile. The pictures were all the same. The prompts were all the same. The only change I made was height from 6'4" to 5'9". So essentially, you're not height pilled enough. It's brutal out there. And one of the biggest problems is that girls can set their Hinge filter to filter out heights, right? They can set 6 foot and up, which is a very small percentage of men. The smartest woman in the world would set her filter from 5'9" to 5'11" and just find a great guy that way. But obviously that's far too rational. There are obviously things that I could improve on my profile. My profile is not that special. My photos are very average. My prompts are very average. Those could both be improved upon, but I wanted to keep things constant by just changing the height. And, 3 to 5 likes a day with an average profile shows just how important that, 6'4" number for height is on these apps. A big problem is that women do not understand what the actual height numbers are. Women don't understand that, okay, a guy that's like 5'10", 5'9" is much taller than you if you are 5'1". But the problem is 5'1" girls are setting their filters to 6 feet tall and up. So I just looked it up. Only 14.5% of men in the United States are 6 feet tall or taller. If you're outside of the United States, if we take worldwide, it's 3 to 10% of men. So they're already shrinking down the percentage of men available to just 10% just based off of height, which is so ridiculous. There's clearly a height inflation going on. This is a clear cause of hypergamy. If they just filter out 90% of men, the whole idea that the bottom 80% of women all go for the top 20% of men is so true. And height is just one example, right? Income is another example. Looks is another example. But income and looks, you can kind of control. You can improve your looks. You can improve your income. You can't really change your height unless you wear cowboy boots that give you, 2.5 inches, which is a move, by the way. This is a real problem. The dating apps are cooked. I've made a couple videos about how Hinge is a terrible app. You shouldn't be on it in the first place. But if you're super stubborn, lie about your height. You gotta lie about your height. Because first of all, they're not going to know the difference. A woman cannot tell the difference between somebody who's 5'10" and 6 feet tall. So if you're 5'10", 5'9", just set your height to 6 feet tall. You're going to get included in, the broader filter search. They're not going to be able to tell the difference when they meet you in person. Just wear cowboy boots so you actually are that height. And then, I don't know, figure it out after and explain, oh no, I'm actually, 5'10". She's probably not going to have a big problem with it because she's going to be like, oh wow, you're so much taller than me. This, 6 foot tall number is really just an arbitrary number that I don't really understand. I don't comprehend. So if you're also a tall guy, you need to not put up with this bullshit either. Because one, it's not fair to 90% of men to just be completely written off because of something they're born with. It's so stupid. It's so vain. But also at the end of the day, every single guy, unless you're in the top 0.0001% of men, is affected by hypergamy. Say you're a 9 out of 10 quality man, right? Not just looks, but all the stuff that matters. Well, you're still being affected by hypergamy. Your options are still 7 out of 10 max of similar quality, not just looks. So you have to get to that level, do all these things to get, a much lower quality woman. That's the problem. And it doesn't really catch up until you get to the very top. Then you finally get to do, you have all the options. You can have whatever you want. But how many of us are going to get there? Like it really is, we're talking 0.001% of men actually reap the benefits of hypergamy. Even if you're in the top 1% of men, you're still being affected by hypergamy in a negative way, because even if you find a woman on your level, she's still going to be flown out by like Shaquille O'Neal, or she's getting banged by Dak Prescott. So it's like, that's what she thinks is her level. So it's brutal out there, man. The hype pill is real. It's very real. I mean, going from getting 40 to 70 likes every 2 weeks to 0 likes in 2 weeks is a very drastic difference. It's very much a wake-up call. And now I have to think, well, do these girls literally just like me because of my height? Would this girl match with me if I was shorter? It seems like the answer is probably no. So, there's other things you can do. You should try to have the best possible photos you can have. You should try to maybe, have fun, funny prompts that also show the quality of man you are. So if this is something people find interesting, I can try to improve those prompts, those photos, and then see if I can get any likes or matches at 5'9" height if I improve those things, which might be helpful. But I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's like, I don't have to do any of this effort just because I'm 6'4". It's kind of fucked. And I'm not just going to sit here and say, haha, not my problem, because it affects all of us. It's a problem for everybody. So yeah, let me know if you want to see that. Please leave a like and subscribe if you like this video. Thank you.